What's up, folks? It's me, Ken Ledesma. Welcome to the season premiere of TNE, the Nerdvana Experience. This is season 5. I've been doing this for a little minute now, and I feel like I'm comfortable enough. I'm not a professional all the way yet, but I know what I'm doing. And we're gonna start this season off with Let's Talk. This is the fifth Let's Talk. Like I said, I do one every season. This is the fifth one. And for people who new and hearing it for the first time, when I do Let's Talk episodes, I talk a little bit about what happened in my life or whatever I want to talk about personally, stuff like this. So now, this we're gonna do something a little different. Mortal Kombat 1 came out last year, and that game is in a fucked up state right now. Well, I'm just gonna keep it a buck. It's in a messed up state, and this the quickest honestly I have seen people stop playing a Mortal Kombat game. Even the most prominent character pro tournament players, Sun Fox, have been getting on, NetherRealm Studios, the developers of Mortal Kombat. That game is just in a terrible state right now. So I was talking to Khalid earlier, and we were talking about Mortal Kombat, talking about the games and stuff, and I was like, you know what, I don't even play Mortal Kombat. Jay, he uninstalled it and everything, and he was like, "Man, you should talk about it on TNE." And we just got to talking, and I was telling him about the history of Mortal Kombat. He was like, "You know some history about Mortal Kombat?" I'm like, "Yeah." He was like, "You should talk about it on TNE." And I'm like, "You know what? You're right." And okay, he was like, "I was like, this is what I'm gonna do." So this is how we're gonna start it off. We're gonna start from Mortal Kombat 1, 1992, all the way up to Mortal Kombat 1, the reboot that came out in 2023. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go over the game, go over the history, and talk about the different like gameplay elements that make the game fun the way it is. All right, so let's get into it. I was born in '92. I grew up playing. The year I was born is the year the first Mortal Kombat came out. I literally grew up with the game. Back then it was this how it was. You either play Street Fighter, you either play Mortal Kombat, or you play Killer Instinct. And there was a select few people that played all of them. It was a select few people that played the King of Fighters, and then you start playing the 3D era game like Virtual Fighter. Then Tekken came into the play, then DLI. So there's a lot of different fighting game franchises. But for me personally, Mortal Kombat 1, the Sega Genesis port, was the very, very first. I think that was like one of the first video games I ever played too, if I'm not mistaken. So the Mortal Kombat 1 1992 game came out, and you got the original characters: Johnny Cage, Kano, Raiden, Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Sonya. Shang Tsung was the main boss, and Goro was the sub boss. And Reptile, he was a hidden character in that game. So this the original Mortal Kombat. The original, how many characters there? 2, 4, 6, 7 characters. Me personally, I believe that every last one of these characters should be in every Mortal Kombat game, but we later found out that wasn't the case. What made Mortal Kombat so popular back then? It was one of the first games where the people look real and then look cartoony, and it was decapitation and blood and gore and stuff in the game. And for 1992, that was a big thing. The ESRB, the system that rated the video game, that was invented because of Mortal Kombat. Like, it was so violent, they were trying to get Mortal Kombat pulled from the stores and everything. But they made so much money in the arcades because the game was so popular. And one of the most popular things about Mortal Kombat was the fatalities. Like, if you was at the arcade, playing the arcade, and somebody did a fatality to you, and that was their first time, so they were like, how you know that? Like, cause you gotta keep in mind, back in '92, it wasn't no such thing as internet. So you had to know, like, somebody either had to tell you, you had to find out. But the gameplay itself, like, they had the signature uppercut. each character had their signature special move and they had their fatalities. This game, like that game was so popular, like it got ported over a couple of times. I think you was able to play Mortal Kombat on the collector's edition of Mortal Kombat Deception. They had the plug and play Mortal Kombat, like the little thing that you plug into the TV, you were able to play Mortal Kombat. They had Midway arcade treasures that came for PSP. You was able to play the first Mortal Kombat. And they had the Mortal Kombat arcade collection that came out on PlayStation 3, about 360 and PC. They came out. So there's multiple ways you can still play that game to this day. I'm gonna tell you one of the things that they had in Mortal Kombat 1 that they didn't have this shit no more. All right, so for whatever reason, they had test your might. And the test your might stuff, like you get like a certain amount of points. So all right, so test your might after you do like what 2 fights. You have like test your might where you push buttons real fast, and you have to give it above that red line, and then you hit the button and you chop the item that you're supposed to chop. So the first one is a piece of wood. So you chop the wood, you get 1,000 points. Then you get to the second one is a stone. You chop that, you get 200,000 points. Then you got the steel, 500, the ruby, 1 million, and diamond, 2 million. And this the only Mortal Kombat game from that I understand that actually had like point systems in the game. Like I don't remember no other Mortal Kombat that actually had that. But this game, like I said, this game been like this the game that started everything. Mortal Kombat 9 reboot took place of where this game started. The Mortal Kombat 9 reboot. And yeah, so this was started everything. The game was borderline perfect. I remember being a kid playing that junk on Sega Genesis. I still remember the code to this day. It was ABACABB. That's how you turn the blood on when the words coming up, and you'll just hear Scorpion say, "Get over here," and the words turn red and drip with blood and shit. Hold on for a second. And I was like, yeah, I used to love that shit as a kid. But then a couple years later, I was able to play Mortal Kombat 2. Now Mortal Kombat 2, for the longest, was the most successful Mortal Kombat of all time. Me personally, to this day, from Mortal Kombat 192 all the way to the latest Mortal Kombat that came out last year in 2023, I still believe that Mortal Kombat 2 is the best Mortal Kombat game ever created. Me personally. So, Mortal Kombat 2, it had the same roster from Mortal Kombat 1 except for Kano and Sonya, because storyline they had got captured. Sonya was captured and Kano was captured by Shao Kahn. So in this game, the new characters in Mortal Kombat this time was Kung Lao. Shang Tsung became a playable character. Reptile became a playable character. Jax was new. Baraka was new. Katana and Melina, the twins, that was new. Game came out in arcades in '93, and then it was ported to every other game console in '94, and it came on PlayStation 1 in 1996. So it had hidden characters that weren't playable. Smoke, Jade, and Noob Sabat was in this game. Shao Kahn was the new main villain, and Goro, instead of being Goro this time, it was Kentaro. He's part of the Shokan race too. So it was a whole new game. That game was Mortal Kombat 2 compared to MK1 was a 100% upgrade, bro. Graphical upgrade, the mechanics, the sound effects, everything was a major, vast improvement. Major, vast improvement. And bro, I'm gonna tell you, this game was so cheap, bro. This the Mortal Kombat that started the infamous hard difficulty for Mortal Kombat games in arcade. Because you gotta keep in mind, during the arcade years, their job was to have you think that you was doing good in the game. Then once you get to the third or fourth character, the difficulty start rising. So if you lose, they want you to put more quarters into the machine. That's how the arcades were set up. So This how I go. You do like the three. You do like the three. You do like the three matches. You'll win. It'll be easy. They'll let you uppercut easily and everything. But once you get to that fourth match, bro, the computer will start jumping ahead of you. You can't punch and uppercut no more because you'll automatically get grabbed. Like the game get extremely hard. So it got to the point I played it so much that I know how to manipulate the game to for me to win. Like for instance, Liu Kang got the highest jump than anybody in the game. So if you jump forward or jump back, Liu Kang jump forward and jump back higher than everybody in the game. So let's say you fight Melina up there in the higher ranks. I mean, high up in the upper ladder. When you jump, she automatically jump with you and throw sides to stop you from jumping. So with Liu Kang, you can easily just jump forward and kick her because Melina go jump forward and throw the sides. But by Liu Kang jumping so high, you can jump over her and kick her. So each time you jump, Melina automatically jump, throw the side, you kick her, and that's how you beat her with Liu Kang. With other characters like Baraka, his shred move, what I do when you get up there in the high rank, like when you finna fight like the bosses and all that type of stuff, I just be walking backwards, constantly pushing back. Then I push low punch, and he start shredding like his arms up and start shredding the character because they'll start walking towards you. So it's like little stuff like that you can do to manipulate the game, to cheat the game. And I'm like, damn. So that game was perfect. That's at the standard for Mortal Kombat at that time period in '93. You had secret stuff like if you win 50 matches in a row, you get to fight Noob Saibot. Noob Saibot, he was just like a dark palette swap of Scorpion. He had all the same move that Scorpion got. He had, and he was real hard to fight and everything. I'm like, man, to this day I never beat him. I might on my stream I might record myself going up the ladder in Mortal Kombat to try to beat it because I ain't did it in so long. So I think I should do that. But this game, just like the first Mortal Kombat, got ported over so many platforms. It got ported over to the PlayStation, to PC, to the Sega Genesis, the Sega Saturn, like some of everything. And this game, it still had the two fatalities, but it added the babalities when you turn your opponent to a baby. It added friendship, and it added stage fatalities. Stage fatalities is when, let's say you fight on the bridge and you put the inputs in to do the stage fatality. They'll uppercut the person and they'll fall over the bridge and fall down there to the ground. To whatever's up on the bridge. So that game was fun. And then 2 years later, Mortal Kombat 3 came out. And it was a big controversy when this game came out, from what I read, because fan favorites wasn't in the game. So when Mortal Kombat 3 came out, it was lacking a lot of characters. So Katana, Reptile, Jade, Scorpion, Melina, who else? Who am I forgetting? Melina, there's somebody else I'm forgetting. They weren't in the game. And Raiden, he wasn't in the game. And a lot of people was mad about that because, like, how you gonna have a Mortal Kombat game without those people? So they had more new characters on the roster than the fan favorites. So the roster for Mortal Kombat 3, the base roster, was Shang Tsung, Sindel, Jax, Kano, Liu Kang, Sonya Blade, Striker, Smoke, Robot Smoke, Sub-Zero, Cyrax, Sector, Nightwolf, Shiva, Kung Lao, and Cabal. And the main boss was Shao Kahn again, but the sub boss wasn't a Shokan this time. It was Kentaro. And bro, they added the dial in combo system, like where you can push, like, for instance, if you're on PlayStation, to do the 3-hit dial in combo is triangle, triangle, back, triangle. So that's a 3-hit combo. So they had dial in combos in this Mortal Kombat. They also added a run button and a stamina bar at the top of the screen up under the health bar. And a lot of people didn't like this game. This game did fairly good, but a lot of people didn't like this game for the simple fact fan characters were gone. Uh, 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 Cabal was broken. Like it was a lot of stuff that like a lot of people didn't like. Then they added, they removed friendships, but they they kept babyalities, but they added animalities. So in order to perform an animality, which is like kind of crazy, when you get to the finishing round, you have to push like run and push like down down or something like hold run and push down down down. It got to be 3 rounds in order to even perform the mercy. I mean, in order to perform the animality, you got to show mercy and all that type of shit. And eventually, all the characters except for Striker, like don't nobody like Striker even to this day. Eventually, a lot of these characters in this base roster of Mortal Kombat 3, people like that was happening. Like a lot of things that people was happy about was Sonya and Kano became playable again, because you got to remember they weren't playable characters at first in Mortal Kombat 2, so they became playable again. And so I'm like, shit. At the time, I was just happy to see Kano again, because anybody who know me didn't know that I love playing Mortal Kombat. Kano, Shang Tsung, and Sonya are my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat. So to have Kano back in Mortal Kombat again just made me happy. And I was a little kid. So, but this game got a lot of heat because fan favorites won in the game. So that made them come out with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. So now when folks play Mortal Kombat 3 and they talk about Mortal Kombat 3, they always play Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 because that's a definitive way of playing Mortal Kombat 3. So with Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Katana, Reptile, Jade, Scorpion, Classic Sub-Zero, New Sabat, and Rain, that was able to be put in the game. And with their addition, some other stuff came in the game, like what's it called? Brutalities came in the game. But I think the brutality was only for like the if I'm not mistaken, brutality is only for like the arcade version, I think. I don't remember. I think it's only for I can't remember, but I know brutalities was added to the game. And this made like this is the definitive way to play Mortal Kombat 3. Like this is the Mortal Kombat. When you say Mortal Kombat 3, this is the way you're supposed to play it. Johnny Cage and Raiden still weren't in Mortal Kombat at this time because the actors that portrayed Raiden and Johnny Cage, they had left the company. So it wasn't no Johnny Cage and Raiden. So that still made a lot of fans upset. So like a year later, Mortal Kombat Trilogy was released. So at this point, every character that was ever in Mortal Kombat up to this point, so every character from Mortal Kombat 1 all the way to Mortal Kombat 3 was in Mortal Kombat Trilogy. That's why it's called Mortal Kombat Trilogy. So anybody that you want to play with, no matter what console you on, you was able to play it. Now, it came out on the PC, the Sega Saturn, and Nintendo 64, and PlayStation. But it's different. Very like all right. So like for instance, the PlayStation PC, and Sega Saturn version had Chameleon with a C. That's the dual version of Chameleon. It had Mortal Kombat 1 Kano, Mortal Kombat 1 Raiden, Mortal Kombat 2 Jax, and Mortal Kombat 2 Kung Lao. But the Nintendo 64 version had Chameleon with a K. That's the girl Chameleon. That's the ninja. So you can be all the girl ninjas. Human Smoke, Motaro, and Shao Kahn. That's the differences between those console versions. But other than that, it had literally every character in the game, every character in Mortal Kombat up to that point in the game. Perfect. You had you had the brutalities, you had the animalities, everything. Mortal Kombat Trilogy for a long time was my favorite Mortal Kombat, like because you had the best of everything. So with this game, it holds so many fond memories to me because like it was the best Mortal Kombat. So we ain't see a Mortal Kombat for a couple years. I see like Mortal Kombat 4 came out in '97. I think the following year because Mortal Kombat Trilogy came out in '96. So from 92 to 96, Mortal Kombat was in its prime. From Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3, Ultimate 3 trilogy. Mortal Kombat was in its prime. Now, this went from this time period, like from Mortal Kombat 4 on down, is when I stopped liking Mortal Kombat a lot. So we can get to Mortal Kombat 4. Mortal Kombat 4 was the first Mortal Kombat game that came in with the 3D era. And it was on arcade, of course. As a matter of fact, Mortal Kombat 4 was the last Mortal Kombat game to be featured in arcades. So it was arcade, Mortal Kombat 4. It was Mortal Kombat 4. What did I say? Yeah, it came out on arcade, PC, PlayStation, Nintendo 64, and Game Boy Color. And they ain't have no hidden combatants in this game. But the console version did. Like the console version of Mortal Kombat 4 had Meat, Nu Sabat, and Goro. And the boss in this game was Shinnok. And this game had like a lot of secrets and cheat codes and shit. So like on PlayStation, you was able to put in like enter a code like low punch 3 times and low kick 2 times and shit like that. You'll open up the cheat menu. It's just something about this game that I just too much like at all. So you got Kai. He was what's this the last time I seen Kai? No, he was in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. So you got Kai. Raiden came back. So it's Kai, Raiden, Shinnok, Liu Kang, Reptile. This is the first Mortal Kombat game where Reptile stopped being human and they started actually having him as a reptile, like a lizard or something. Then like that. It was Scorpion. Then you had Jax, Reiko. Who else in this game? Johnny Cage came back as a main character. Then you had Jarek, Tanya. This is her first game. Fujin, which is his first game, which is Raiden's brother. Sub-Zero, Quan Chi. This is Quan Chi's first game. Sonya Blade, Nu Sabat, and Goro. And to this day, I still don't like this game. I don't know. I just don't like it. I just don't like this shit. And they came out with an upgraded version of the game called Mortal Kombat Gold. It's just Mortal Kombat 4 upgraded with more characters. So you got Cyrex, Melina, Katana, Kung Lao, Baraka. Who is this? No, those are the new characters. So Cyrex, Katana, Melina, Kung Lao, and Baraka. Those are new characters at the time. And I played, and it was only on Dreamcast. And I remember playing on Dreamcast a long time ago, years ago. And I never liked this shit. Like I just never liked the game. Like I never liked it. And this game came out in '99. The next time we'll get a Mortal Kombat game was like in 2003. So we're gonna go to Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. So fast forward, we in the 3D era now. So at this point, Mortal Kombat games already feel different. So you get to Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. This is the first Mortal Kombat game in years. So it came out on Fatality Friday, November 22nd, 2002. 2002. All right, so in this game, you had Shang Tsung, Bo Raicho, Quan Chi, Li Mei, Scorpion, Sonya Blade, Kenshi, Movado, Johnny Cage, Sub-Zero, who is this? Kano, Kung Lao, Nitara, Draman, Suhao, Frost, Jax, Katana, Raiden, Reptile, Cyrex, Blaze, and Mocap. This game only came out on Nintendo's GameCube, PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Game Boy Advance. Bruh, I hate this game. Like, at the time, I used to like it. But nothing compared to Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3 to me. And I was like, bro, I just can't I just don't like this shit. I was like, bro, I just don't like this game, bro. But it had the roster. So, see, the thing that saves Mortal Kombat all the time is they characters so popular and so synonymous with the franchise that, like, if you have certain characters in the game and they do certain moves, it'll just be perfect. Like this, the first Mortal Kombat game without Liu Kang because he died. He got killed. So Liu Kang is not in this game. And I remember looking for Liu Kang when I was younger playing the game. I'm like, where's Liu Kang? But I remember when the game first come on, when you watch the CGI little intro of the game, it showed him getting his neck snapped and stuff and getting killed. And I was like, man, I don't know. It was just something about this game I just didn't like. Like even if I try, if I was to go back and play that game now, I won't like it. I don't think I like it at all. But the roster though, like it had some of the main characters in there doing they shit, and that's what made me like Mortal Kombat to me is its characters and gameplay. You know what I'm saying? And long as you got the characters in the game and they doing their bullshit, I like it. So let's move forward to Mortal Kombat Deception. I think Deception was the next game that came out. So Mortal Kombat Deception, it came out 2 years later in 2004. And I remember this game vividly because I used to want this game so much because of the marketing. And I used to love the way Jade looked. I used to love the way Sub-Zero looked. Man, I was like, it's just something about this game I just used to just love. So I remember asking my mom to get it, and she ended up getting it for us for Christmas. And I remember turning that game on and seeing the loading screen. I used to have so much fun just looking at the main menu and shit like that. And I was like, man, this game fun. I ended up playing it, not liking it too much because I had to get used to it because 3D Mortal Kombat, like at the time, it wasn't no such thing as Mortal Kombat 9 and all that type of shit. It wasn't number 3D like fighting game. So at the time, I ain't had nothing to compare it to, but I just knew I ain't too much careful like that. I was able to turn it on, play it for a couple of matches, and turn it off. I ain't play it for hours at a time like I used to do for Mortal Kombat Trilogy and 2 and 3. So in Mortal Kombat Deception, they added Jade. It was Jade, Kenshi, Scorpion, Melina, Baraka, Sub-Zero, Sindel, Havoc make his appearance. It was Dark Raiden, Lee May, Cabal, Ermac, Nightwolf, Bo Raicho. And then they combined Noob Saibot and Smoke together. So there was one character. So their name was Noob Smoke. So they was in the game. There was one character. Then it was Tanya, Shinjuku, what's his name? Shinjoko, then Hotaru, Ashura. Who else in here? Daru was in here. Cobra, Darius was in here. Kira was in the game. She was Kano's replacement. Kano was her teacher. She was part of the Black Dragon. And down there, everything Kano can do with the knives and all that type of stuff, Kira do. And they had Liu Kang in the game, but he was dead. He was zombie Liu Kang. And he was zombie Liu Kang. And on the GameCube version of the game, Shao Kahn and Goro was in the game. This like I remember putting many hours in this game, but it really wasn't my cup of tea. I don't know why it just something about it. It just really wasn't my cup of tea. Cause I used to play it and never have fun in that joint. I play it just for a couple minutes with my brothers and we'll turn it off and start playing SmackDown vs. Raw. Like we'll this is all we played a lot. So like the 3D era of Mortal Kombat, like it ain't really fondly in my heart. Like the gameplay and stuff like that. I remember it, but I really don't remember it as much because I really don't like this shit, like for real. So you move forward to 2005, the following year, and Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks came out. Today, I consider that one of the best Mortal Kombat games of all fucking time. And you only had Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Baraka, Katana, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Johnny Cage, and Reptile as playable characters. But it's a 2-player story mode based game. And all you're doing is reliving the events of Mortal Kombat 1 and 2. So like you actually going through like the Wuxi Academy and you in the Nether Realm and all the type of stuff. You actually going through the story mode. And you see all the iconic characters in Noob Saibot. They got hidden ways you can go. Like they got hidden treasures and shit. Like this game is one of the best Mortal Kombat games that ever came out as far as gameplay, the co-op perspective, everything. Like like it's just like one of the best games. So the game by default is it's called Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks because you use the Shaolin Monks to go through story mode. So the Shaolin Monks in Mortal Kombat is Liu Kang and Kung Lao. Those are two Shaolin Monks. And I always use Liu Kang. I tried Kung Lao, but he's not my cup of tea. But Liu Kang is the person who I always fought with. And once you beat the game, you're able to unlock Sub-Zero and Scorpion to go through the story as them. But instead of them having their own voices throughout the game, Scorpion is Liu Kang and Sub-Zero is Kung Lao. But they have their own fight style. They still fight like Sub-Zero and Scorpion. It's just that in cutscenes, they still have Liu Kang and Kung Lao voice, which is crazy to me. But to this day, this is one of the best fighting games, and the community will be wanting the game to be remastered or remade in some way. And Ed Boon, he said he want to do it, but it's a lot of factors that come into doing this shit. Then you move forward to after Mortal Kombat Shadow Months came out, Mortal Kombat Armageddon was released, and that's the Mortal Kombat game with all the. All right, so this basically is Mortal Kombat trilogy for the 3D era. Literally every character that was in every 3D era game, from Mortal Kombat Deception, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, up to now, to Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Those all the characters, like every last character was in that game. You was even able to create your own character and had your own fighter and use whatever moves you want to create the ultimate fighter and shit. That's the game that I spent the most time in. Me and my brothers used to play that game for hours and hours and hours. The game used to be fun. The game used to be fun as hell. But it wasn't the same. Now, we're gonna get to the point where I'm trying to make with why I went through this. So Mortal Kombat 9 came out, right? They came out with a Mortal Kombat game because apparently Mortal Kombat was dead. Because that's how it is in Mortal Kombat Armageddon. They had everybody to die in Mortal Kombat 11. They went at the beginning of the game when it first come on. Everybody had this big war, and all the characters from all like Mortal Kombat, all of them was dying and stuff. And Mortal Kombat was apparently dead. That game came out in what 2005, 2006. I forgot when that game came out, but it had to come out like in 2006. But anyway, the game came out either 2005. No, it came out 2006 because Mortal Kombat Shadow Months came out 2005. So in 2006, you get the last Mortal Kombat game for years and years and years. Midway Games go out of business. You know, the people who develop and publishing the game Mortal Kombat. So up until that point, you got the original trilogy, which is Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. Then you have the 3D trilogy, which is Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Deception, and Armageddon. And now WB Warner Brothers buys the IP from Mortal Kombat, right? So now we move into the new generation of gaming, and you get to 2008, and the first Mortal Kombat game in years come out called Mortal Kombat versus DC. What is called Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. So in that game, you had all the Mortal Kombat, well, a lot of Mortal Kombat characters fighting DC Comics characters. And for the time period, that game, it was okay. A lot of criticism that came behind that game because, one, they didn't want fatalities being done to the superheroes. So instead of getting the gory, bloody fatalities that you usually see, they ain't want that for Batman. They ain't want to see Batman getting decapitated or Superman getting blown up and shit like that. Like they didn't want to see that. And that was the issue with their game. And what was it called? What was it called? It was called heroic brutality or something like that. Like if you're a superhero and you do like your version of the fatality, it's called heroic brutality or some shit like that. So it's like, bruh, it Mortal Kombat versus DC, it wasn't fun, but you can tell it was laying the foundation for what Mortal Kombat became over the years. All right, so when Mortal Kombat versus DC came out, you had who was in that game? You had Baraka, Jax, Kano, Katana, Liu Kang, Raiden, Scorpion, Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, Sonya Blade, and Sub Zero. And then on the DC comic side, you had Batman, Captain Marvel, Catwoman, Darkseid, Deathstroke, The Flash, Green Lantern, The Joker, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Lex Luthor. Right? And they had like different stories, like you can play from either side. As far as the gameplay goes, this when NetherRealm stopped using. They started like using what's that shit called? Combo strings. They actually started using combo strings where you can put like combos together to like how eventually how Mortal Kombat 9 will come out and Injustice 1 and 2 will come. This was the foundation. Like they laid the foundation. This is the game that laid the foundation for everything that will come to know Mortal Kombat as today. So you get to Mortal Kombat 9 because I remember when this game first came out and everybody was pre-ordering that game, but I didn't have a PlayStation 3 at the time or about 360, so I didn't get to play it when it first came out. So I remember when this game first came out, everybody was playing it, and this game came out in 2008. So you fast forward a couple years to Mortal Kombat 9, which is the reboot of the whole Mortal Kombat series. A reboot to the whole series. And within that one game, they rebooted Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3. All three of those games were put in one game and retold again for a new generation, and it came out in 2011. To this day, Mortal Kombat 9 holds the distinction of being one of the best Mortal Kombat games ever made. And at this time, that the studio is not called Midway Games; it's called NetherRealm Studio for what we know it as today. And that game is considered one of the best Mortal Kombat games for the simple fact the characters that was in the game. No DLC characters. Like when you talk about DLC characters, we talk about strictly base roster. Was Baraka, Cyber Sub-Zero, Cyrax, Ermac, Goro, Jade, Jax, Johnny Cage, Cabal, Kano, Kentaro, Katana, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Melina, Nightwolf, Nu Sabat, Quan Chi, Raiden, Reptile, Scorpion, Sector, Shang Tsung, Shao Kahn, Shiva, Sindel, Smoke, Sonya Blade, Striker, and Sub-Zero. That was the base roster. Everybody favorite characters was in the base roster. So all those 3D era characters, nah. No. We ain't talking about them. Just strictly characters that came from the first 3 Mortal Kombat games. Everybody's favorite characters. Now, they had Kratos from God of War in that game, but it was only on PlayStation. He was a PlayStation exclusive. Then you get to the DLC, you got Freddy Krueger, Kenshin, Rain, and Scarlet. That game had the best roster of a Mortal Kombat game to date. Because it had everybody's favorite characters in the game. It wasn't no like you didn't have to pay DLC to get Kano, or you didn't have to pay DLC to get Cage. Like they were just in the game, base roster, and that became one of the best Mortal Kombat games of all time. And to this day, I think Tremor he in the game, and Motaro and Shinnok they in the game, but they only in cutscenes and shit, bro. The way you was able to whoop ass in Mortal Kombat 9, bro. The way the combos were structured up, they had tag team mode. They had, bro. That game set the standard for what NetherRealm can really do. And to this day, like people still play Mortal Kombat 9 to this day. Now, the next game that came out to Mortal Kombat 9 wasn't Mortal Kombat, it was Injustice, like the first Injustice. And that game is a masterpiece within itself. Then you get to Mortal Kombat X. You get to Mortal Kombat X. That game come out in 2015. This is considered to be the best Mortal Kombat game of all time. Yeah, my bad for that. I had connection issues, so I had to pick up where I left off. I don't too much quite remember where I left off, but Mortal Kombat X is considered one of the best Mortal Kombat games of all time. Like when it first came out, I remember watching reviews of it, and folks was like, because the PC version was kind of fucked up, but I remember the console version, like they were like the controls, the gameplay, the story, the graphics. They were like they calling it some of the best that ever been in the Mortal Kombat whole entire series. Bro, Mortal Kombat X one of those Mortal Kombat games like what Carly just told me today. If you knew how to play Mortal Kombat X, and you went against somebody that tried to do some cheesy shit like hit down one all the time, it wasn't none of that. You either had to learn how to play or you weren't gonna win, or unless you like find somebody on your same skill level. Like the differences between the skill gaps in Mortal Kombat X is making like one of the real true fighting games and shit. And I started playing towards the end of the game life because during that time period I was playing Dead or Alive 5 and Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate and last round. So I kind of missed out on uh Mortal Kombat X when it was when it's in prime and when it was new and shit. And but there was one. It was feature rich. You had good guest characters from Alien and Predator all the way to Leatherface. Man, they're just one of the best Mortal Kombat games. Like period. So we moved forward. That game came out in 2019. I mean 2015. We moved forward to 2019, and that's when Mortal Kombat 11 came out. I put over 300 hours in Mortal Kombat on PC alone. When that game first came out on PlayStation, when it first came out, I had it on PlayStation 4, and I played it literally every day, all day, like literally. And I'm like, bruh, I played with Sonya Blade. Now the roster, uh, it could have been a little better than what it was. It could have been better, but on PC, I had a 304 hours in that game. That's a lot of time. That's a lot of time. That's not even including the amount of hours that I had inside of uh uh Mortal Kombat X on PC. I mean PS4. So with this roster, it was so and so because you had some of the fan favorites like Baraka, Katana, Kung Lao, Liu Kang, New Sabat, Raiden, Scorpion, Sub Zero, Kano. You know the original 7 from Mortal Kombat 1 was in the game, but then you had the comeback kids, Jackie Briggs, Cassie Cage. Then you had Cetrion, which is Shinnok's sister. She's an elder god. Who else you had in this game? We have Koda Khan. He make his return from Mortal Kombat X. Jade, um, Geras make his appearance. And then the DLC you had Nightwolf, Shang Tsung, Sindel, Spawn, the Terminator, and the Joker. Then they had a movie DLC called Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. It's a whole new story expansion with Fujin, RoboCop, and Shiva. Then you had the last combat pack for the DLC with John Rambo, Melina, and Rain. Bro, I put so many hours in Mortal Kombat 11, it ain't even funny. Like, I damn near knew how to play with everybody, but my main character was Kano. And this Mortal Kombat game was one of the easiest Mortal Kombat games to play for the simple fact they just made everything easy. You had 4 bars of meter, but the meter was separate for offensive and defensive, and people was able to fall out your combo and all the time. She was one of the easiest games. But Mortal Kombat 11, as of today, was one of the most high selling. What Mortal Kombat 11 is the most sold Mortal Kombat game in history, and I understand why, because of the characters and all that type of stuff. I understand why, but overall, Sindel character got backlash in this game because they retconned her history. Sindel always been a good person, but in this game they made her evil and made her marry Shao Kahn. So that was a big controversy. And one thing, there was another major controversy when Mortal Kombat 11 first came out. Melina was a part of the roster, and they were sending people were sending death threats to the developers for Melina not being in the game. Now, I never get that serious about having a character in the game like that, but they was sending another realms death threats and everything. So yeah, so we fast forward to last year. We fast forward to last year to Mortal Kombat 1. And out of all these games that I just went through, from Mortal Kombat 1 1992 to Mortal Kombat 1 2023, this game is one of the worst Mortal Kombat games as far as content and release ever. The characters are lackluster. Now, don't get me wrong, the gameplay is fun. The thing I don't like is the cameos. Cameos is like the assist, like from team-based games. That's lackluster. Like the game overall like it feels like a beta. It don't feel like it's complete. Like Invasions mode is a mode where you can go through like a tabletop board game. You have matches to unlock stuff. That's one of the most boring shit ever in Mortal Kombat. Characters don't have the right frame data. It's like you go online, your matches be desyncing. It's a whole plethora of problems in Mortal Kombat 1 to the point where people just dropping the game altogether and either playing Street Fighter 6 or Tekken 8. What's going to end up happening is they're going to end up releasing a patch for this game, and it's going to be a big patch, and it's going to revamp the whole game. And people going to come back to it, but the damage already been done, in my opinion. But like I said, it's one of the worst games ever. Well, it's one of the worst Mortal Kombat games, in my opinion, because right now it's not even playing. Bruh, I ain't even played it. I got Mortal Kombat 1 on PC and on PlayStation. I ain't played it. Ain't none on it. Like it's literally no reason for me to come back to the game. I don't want to. And I hope that one day, they're able to make the game better than what it was and shit like that. But that's what I want to talk about in this Let's Talk. I just wanted to get that off. I just want to talk about the history of MK and stuff like that this time period. I could have went more in depth, but the episode would be like 2-3 hours long, and I don't want to do all that. So I just want to, say what I had to say and talk about the history of Mortal Kombat a little bit. As always, I want to say I appreciate everybody who listens to TNE, new listeners and reoccurring listeners. I appreciate everybody. And until then, see y'all next week. Peace.